Well, I guess I have another feather to put in my cap, seeing as my name is John, but hey, complaining's a dirty job, but someone has to do it.
As we know more. Holiday Inn Hotel on Venture Parkway late Sunday afternoon. They say the girl had several bruises and other injuries. Investigators say Kennedy was watching the girl while her mother worked. Kennedy's being held without bond at the Gwinnett County Jail.
Or your father, or your brother, or your uncle, you would be out here saying the same thing.
While he was walking to his car, he was approached by a black Nissan Sentra that was recently carjacked in Midtown, around the area of Spring Street and 3rd Street. There were 3 suspects associated with that vehicle. As Mr. Houston was walking to his car, one of the suspects exited the vehicle and shot Mr. Houston, killing him.
Stephen Hennessy of the Hennessy Auto Group says Houston was one of his best employees, a car salesman who started working for Hennessy after Houston left law school a couple of years ago to make money to pay for law school tuition. In a statement to Fox 5, Hennessy said he was everybody's favorite employee, hardworking, dedicated, with a great attitude, just a great young man. I really hope someone will come forward in this case, especially since there is a reward.
I never thought I'd be in this situation, me or my family members, because he did everything he was supposed to do to keep him from being in this type of situation with this unnecessary gun violence. We're going to have to work together, especially us black people, because this can't keep happening. We're killing all these good kids, killing all the good men, and leaving all the rotten ones out here.
In Atlanta, Portia Bruner, Fox 5 News.
Family and friends gathered today for a balloon release in her memory. Atlanta police tell us she was shot near the Waffle House on Glenwood Avenue last night. 2 other young people were also shot. Both are recovering at the hospital. One man says he heard the gunfire just as he and his friends planned to stop at that restaurant to eat.
Just think, I could have been over there because that's where they wanted to eat. So it's heartbreaking, especially hearing of a young teen being killed. So now we definitely have to stop the violence and take some type of accountability for what it is that we're doing.
Investigators say the violence started after a large fight broke out. We are still working to find out if the shooter is in custody. And police are investigating another fatal shooting tonight. This one happening in southwest Atlanta. 22-year-old Antonio Sykes died after he was shot outside of Artisans Bar and Grill on Peachtree Street. A second man was shot as well. That person is said to be in stable condition. Police say the shooting started after an argument inside the club. So far, no arrests have been made. And the GBI is
and 2 others injured. Investigators originally wanted to identify 3 vehicles, but now they tell us a 4th vehicle is possibly involved. Officers hope someone may have more information about the cars and their drivers.
A Brinks security employee Brinks truck that stopped to get food at a restaurant on Marietta Boulevard. While the truck was parked, 2 suspects pulled it behind in a sedan. Police say one suspect got into the vehicle and demanded the driver get out of the car. When the victim was coming out of the location, shots were exchanged and the employee was shot. He was taken to the hospital.
A South Fulton man
Police say he was last seen running behind the Masonic Lodge next to Ingalls. Again, Davenport is a person of interest in a shooting tonight that killed a 47-year-old man. He should be considered armed and dangerous. Well, developing tonight, Governor Kemp.
But the thief or thieves did their homework because around the back, there's one section of fencing that's lower by about a half, and that's how they got in. Compromise. That's a section of the fencing surrounding Fire Station 2 that provided fairly easy access to the personal cars of Atlanta firefighters.
It's outrageous. It's compounded by the fact that these are firemen, people who go out and literally risk their lives on every call to help the public.
Police found a half-dozen cars with windows smashed or doors forced open. For firefighters, this is not a new issue. Fox 5 did a series of reports in 2019 about station break-ins. That led to some security changes, including fencing. But at the Jonesboro station, there are additions to the fencing that could be made. For example, if the barbed wire is bolstered by that circular razor wire, that could pose more of a challenge to a thief.
If you're going to be securing any building with improved fencing, it should at least be all of the same height. Firemen literally.
CEO Mark Zuckerberg said the decision was made because the risks of allowing the president to continue to use our service during this period are simply too great. Now, Facebook's independent oversight board, after months reviewing the ban, says it will announce its official ruling Wednesday.
If they tell us that former President Trump's account should be reinstated, then we will honor that.
Facebook's ban, in addition to bans by Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, has since stirred debate over free speech, not only among its users, but also in Washington. Democratic Congressman Frank Pallone was among those who had called for the ban, citing President Trump's post for inciting violence, spreading dangerous misinformation, and amplifying anti-democratic rhetoric. Republicans disagree.
The idea that these corporations would decide what we can say and can't say and who can speak and can't speak, it's crazy.
Twitter's Jack Dorsey says its ban is permanent, telling House lawmakers in March his company believes in free speech with certain limits.
We must balance that with our desire for our service not to be used to sow confusion, division, or destruction.
While President Trump is reportedly considering starting his own social media platform, for now he's resorted to communicating by press release. Last week he told Fox he's found it to be, quote, better and a more elegant way to communicate. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox 5 News.
And Chick Meteorologist David House.
5 people arrested accused of using this Southwest Houston home for human smuggling. According to new disturbing court documents, 97 people were found Friday morning packed inside this home off Chessington Drive. The undocumented immigrants, mostly men, stripped down to their underwear. The rooms had a deadbolt on the door facing outside, preventing escape from inside. Court records claim the undocumented immigrants were held captive for ransom money, stating if the money was not paid, they would be put in 4 pieces of wood.
It was just rare for us, here. We just couldn't figure out why and how they did it.
Those who live off Chessington Drive still can't believe it.
It was not like TV. It was real. And I think it was awful.
And so it's just really a sad situation that you get slapped in the face again.
Sandra Cook owns Catered Southern Events and says she was one of the Cobb County businesses hurt by Major League Baseball's decision to relocate the All-Star game from Truist Park because of Georgia's new voting law. Cook and a handful of other local business owners met with House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy at Marietta Diner Tuesday. McCarthy says the MLB made an uninformed decision based not on the law itself, but on misinformation, including some from President Joe Biden.
I wish Major League Baseball would look at the faces. I wish this administration would come here and listen to these voices. Because they encouraged the team to leave. They encouraged the game to be played somewhere else.
The Democratic Party of Georgia issued a statement in response to McCarthy's visit, saying, in part, Republicans hope these theatrics will distract from the fact that it was GOP legislation passed by Republicans in the State House and State Senate and signed by a Republican governor that forced companies to pull major economic projects out of Georgia due to nationwide fallout from the disastrous new Jim Crow law. But McCarthy argues this is not a partisan issue.
Well, I wish Major League Baseball would learn the lesson from this, to not make a rash decision, to make informed decisions, to read the bills before they make judgment. This movement in this country about wokeness has got to stop.
McCarthy says he thinks that Major League Baseball should find some way to make this up to those small business owners.
Well, I guess I have another feather to put in my cap, seeing as my name is John, but hey, complaining's a dirty job, but someone has to do it.